are going to explore the Rehabilitation Center. We're going to learn about the care that they give to their horses. We're also going to learn how they teach students about this exciting and interesting and necessary career. So we'll give everyone just a minute more to join us. Try to think about how long do you think it would take you to get to Morrisville? How long would it take you? Are you really close by or are you really far away? All right. Well, thank you again. Thank you, everyone. We are really, really glad you're here. I'm Katie Carpenter. I'm the Director of New York Agriculture in the Classroom, and we are so excited to have you with us on our final virtual field trip of this school year. We're really glad maybe you've been with us for quite a few virtual field trips. Maybe it's your first one. We hope that you've enjoyed our series this year. And we are really excited to end with one of our collegiate partners with SUNY Morrisville. Just a few things to remember during our virtual field trip. We are going to have an opportunity for you to ask questions at any time in the Q&A box. Put those questions in the Q&A box, and we will try to get through as many as we can during the virtual field trip. And at the end, we'll try to do a rapid fire of as many as we can to get through those questions. You won't be able to use the chat box, but the Q&A box is a great place to put all your questions. With that, we are going to get started. We have Miss Leanne with us at SUNY Morrisville. Hi, Miss Leanne.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
We are so good. We cannot wait to come and explore what you have to show us today. We know it's going to be really exciting. Could you
I
tell
hope
us a
so.
little, could you tell us a little bit about you and about the Morrisville Equine Rehabilitation Center?
Yeah, absolutely. So, good morning, everybody. My name's Leanne Chesbrough. I am the barn manager here at Morrisville Equine Rehabilitation Center. I'm also an ISA, which is an instructional support assistant. So, I assist all the professors in teaching our students how to rehabilitate or condition our horses that we have here in our building. And I'm sorry, can you repeat the question again? I kind of got lost track of
Yeah,
that.
no, you're doing great. We just wanted to learn a little bit about you and your background. How did you get to where you are now?
I've always had a small passion for horses, and it kind of just when I was little, and it kind of just grew. I went to SUNY Delhi for my associate's degree in veterinary technology, and then I transferred here in 2018, and I graduated in 2020 from this program actually. So I'm actually kind of back home, as you would say, and it's just been an amazing experience. And so I believe that rehabilitation and therapy is an important part in what we do, and who we are and what it takes to get a horse from whether they're injured or post surgery to getting back to work. So we are an important part of that equation. And I am so happy to be here and I'm happy to show everybody here, everybody that's watching and can tune in what's going on.
You play such an important part of the equine industry. People are so want to take care of their animals, and you are a big part in making sure that they are strong and they're healthy. Why do you think students want to come to your program?
We are fortunate enough to be 90, if not 95% hands-on. Our program is designed to be a hands-on program. And that's super, super important in any sort of aspect of work. So when you go to work in any sort of, when you do go to work or when you want to go to college, you want to be able to experience what your life is going to be like. And so being a hands-on program is the staple point we believe as SUNY Morrisville to really get some knowledge and some good experience before the workforce. So I can't even tell you, like it's so incredible how we do things here.
And where did we just walk into?
So this is our classroom. Each barn that we have associated with our program has a classroom attached to it, and or on the grounds that they are on, so that you can go right from class to lab. So it's a very like I said, the 90 to 95% hands-on portion of this, we really strive to bring everything and every sort of experience to life. So this is our classroom. We learn anatomy, nutrition, anything that you can really think of, and about the bones, the muscles, everything in this classroom, and then we apply it out into our labs in order to get a real feel of what everything is like. And we use everything that we teach in our labs. And this is our friend Joe. He's been with us since the beginning of this rehabilitation center. We learn everything on him, from bones to muscles to tendons to ligaments, where everything is placed. And really, we use him to really get a good visual of what we're doing out in the lab area, what we're really doing out and working with our horses. And then here up on the screen, I know it's a little blurry, but this is kind of like what your course load would be if you were to do our 4-year track. So we do have a 2-year track. We also have a 4-year track. Everything that has a 1 on it is in your first year, 2 is your second year, 3 is your third year, 4 is your fourth year. But when you're sophomore and you want to go into the bachelor's program, you are able to pick what concentration you want to go in. So whether that be hunt seat, Western, rehabilitation, breeding, or just equine science management. And so we offer a lot of opportunity here at SUNY Morrisville, especially in the equine science department. And then just a little brief, if you were to go into the hunt seat or the Western, we do offer that. And so this is kind of like a brief this is what we call tack. So our 2 saddles, this is just a part of what you would do, what you would put on your horse to ride it. So this is a Western saddle. And then this is a hunt seat saddle. So obviously there's a lot of differences, and it kind of just depends on what you want to do with your horse. So a lot of Western riders, they rein, they do barrel racing, and it's much more comfortable seat because you want to use your hips a lot when you're riding Western. And then the English saddle is a lot smaller because you're using a lot of your legs to jump or do any sort of type of dressage riding.
Very interesting. Thank you, Miss Leanne. As we move over to the treatment space, could you talk to us
Yeah.
a little bit about what else those students could do, maybe some clubs? What else does their life look like outside of going to classes?
Absolutely. Yeah. So we do have 2 types of teams. So we have the Hunt Seat team. We also have the Western team. You can do summer internships here, which is the students that are here today are part of our summer internship program. So we have a lot of different opportunities for students here. So like I said, the teams, summer internships. We also have a big internship at the end of your 4th year. So you can go anywhere with that as long as you're in the bachelor's program. Like I said, the first 2 years are pretty basic, but depending when you want to really decide what you want to do in your 3rd and 4th year, graduate with your bachelor's, this will kind of be where you'll head if you want to go into rehab. So these are some of the horses we'll be working with today. This is one of our big Belgians. His name's Jip. He'll be swimming for us today. So
Miss
as you can see,
Leanne,
there's 2 people. Oh, I'm sorry.
no, that's
As
okay.
you
So,
can
Miss
as you
Leanne,
can see, yeah.
you told us why the students come here. Why do the horses come to this facility?
So horses come to the this facility to get any sort of rehab and injury. So rehabilitation means to return to a formal state. So what we're doing here is returning them, and our goal is to return them to their formal state that they were prior to their injury or post surgery. And then also, um, they can also come for conditioning. So in order to build up some strength in their muscles, in their tendons, in their ligaments, make them stronger. It's almost like working out is what we call conditioning, is equivalent to what we might be able to do for them. So it kind of just depends on what their goal is in life. And so this guy that's swimming right now, he is part of our draft program, and they go to shows all the time. So once in a while, we kind of put them in the pool just to get them some exercise that they're not getting while they're, in their stalls, and kind of get them in shape and keep them in shape. And so as you can see, there's two ropes. So the white rope is our lead person. That was where the horse was, closer to the edge. And then our black line is our offline person. And our offline person just stabilizes the horse's head, making sure that they keep moving forward. Making sure that if anything happens to the lead person, that there's a backup. We always do all safety precautions with this. So as you can see, all of our students also wear life jackets. And we do have a bridge person so that our team is able to cross over the bridge, giving them that full experience of a lap pool that we have here at SUNY Morrisville.
Now, Miss Leanne, I know I like to go swimming, but do the horses enjoy it?
Most of the time, when they first start, if they haven't ever before, sometimes it can be a little tricky for them to get to that pattern. But overall, they do really enjoy getting in the water, especially this guy. Like, as you can see, he'll walk right in. He's a pro. He's been doing this more than once. So he'll just walk right in and do his thing. But sometimes when we're starting horses, sometimes when we're starting horses, they can be a little hesitant just because either they haven't been in water before, or they just simply not sure what they're doing, because when you're swimming, there's nothing there to catch you. Our pool is 14 feet deep, so there's nothing, so they are treading water when they're swimming, just like a normal human. So there's nothing to catch them. They have to do the work by themselves. But this is a great exercise to condition and rehab, because there's no weight bearing and nothing, there's nothing preventing them from being weight bearing. So the non-weight bearing helps them really use that walk pattern in the 1, 2, 3, 4 motion, and stretching, really get flexibility in those legs.
How many laps will they do, or how many times during a conditioning session will they come to the pool?
So conditioning moves a little bit faster than rehab. Rehab, we really are focused on them making sure that they're using that flexibility. So rehab is about one lap each direction. We always go each direction, no matter what. So the first time that you rehab, you want to do like a 1 and 1, and you can build up to 1 and 2, 2 and 1, sort of anything like that. When you're conditioning, you can start 2 and 1, just because those horses that come in for conditioning are usually fit, and they're not injured. So it kind of just depends on their protocol and what their vet suggests. But they can build up, and as long as they're breathing, so you can see, like, he's not really out of breath. Hi. He's not really that much out of breath. So he could have probably done another one, and he's licking and chewing, which is a sign that he really enjoyed that. Right now, what we do after they swim is that we do bathe them. So we're just gonna hose them off, hose all that chlorine off, and then they'll do a little bath for him, and get him dried off. Just because chlorine, just like humans, can irritate the skin, so we don't want that to happen for them. But we also chlorinate our pool to help with germs and keep them clean as possible because we are as well being in this kind of environment, we want them in a clinic setting, we want things as clean as possible.
So we have a question.
Yeah.
We have how much do these horses weigh?
We haven't weighed him in a hot minute, but I would say he's probably upwards about 1,200 pounds. Our smallest horse right now is 785 pounds, which we'll see in the barn. But he's probably upwards 1,200 pounds. And then, so we do have, so this guy over here is going to go into the spa. The spa is a great tool to help with inflammation. We really do, I love the spa is one of my favorite things to use because we use Epsom salts that are in the spa to help with the inflammation in their legs. So he has some inflammation that we're trying to get down. And so we really just, so in this tank over here is water and Epsom salts. And what happens is that when she ends up starting to fill this, it fills up with cold water and the Epsom salts that are in here, and there's jets in there as well. And once they fill up to the jets, we'll turn those on, and it's almost like a jetted ice bath. So if you were to take those Epsom salts and some ice and some cold water, and even if you have a straw and blow in it, blow inside the water, and kind of create that bubbly sort of like almost like a soda, then that'll kind of be what's happening here. So depending where their injuries are, will depend on how much we fill this spa. His injury is actually in his fetlock, which is just above his hoof. So we'll fill it about halfway to his cannon bone or just below his knee in order to get a really good cover all the areas that we want to cover. And he is, hi, Jerry. Hi. Can you smile for everybody? No, you don't want to today? That's okay. So once those that water gets above the jets, we'll turn the jets on and then we'll get that going.
So one of the things our students who received an inquiry box may have found was some Epsom salt. And so this is where this comes into play as they use
Yes.
therapy.
Yes. So then we'll turn the jets on and we'll see. So now that the jets are on, the Epsom salts are circulating through the water and creating that, what we call the jetted ice bath in a cold saltwater spa. So, and back here is also our chiller to make sure that this water is nice and cold. It is regulated temperature so that it doesn't go below what we need it to, which is about 35 degrees is our coldest that we want to go to. But it doesn't get hot because this is a cold saltwater spa. So we want to make sure it's nice and cold for them. And then, oh, this is also, so he won't. Oh, sorry, buddy. So this is back here is our diaper, or so that we call it, to catch any stool that may leave their body as they're doing all these exercises. We also put one on our horses that go into the treadmill, and it's just very useful. It's just another tool to keep things nice and clean, and keep things very safe and sanitary as possible when you're working with animals. And also you saw back there, he does have a tail tie-in. We tail tie everything for all of our modalities here, just as a other precaution. Most of their tails are very long, so we don't want them getting in the way of anything.
And so our students may have received some of that in their inquiry box also, that tail wrap that they use daily.
Yes, so this is, if you can see, I know you guys got a piece of it, but it's pretty long. So this is, we wrap their tails in this to make sure that it's tied up very securely and very tightly. There's no harm in doing as tightly as possible because you can't cut any circulation off in their tail. And then this is a halter. So this is what, if you can see Jerry's black and green face, basically what's on his face is called a halter, and that's how we lead horses around. And then the last bit, you guys received some pieces of rope. This is called a lead rope. And this is what she's using to hold Jerry there. And this is what's commonly used to lead horses around and get them to where we want to go, want them to go to.
So Mrs. Forsyth's third grade class wants to know how many horses do you have at the facility right now?
Right now we have 6 in-house. We have three, I think three of our own horses. We have here at Morrisville, so far we have a herd of 82 horses that we take care of between all of the barns. So when they're injured or they need a little spa day, they come up to us. And then we also are a business, so we do have 4 client horses in right now that we take care of. And then this is our underwater treadmill. We can run this dry or wet. This is our butt bar. So we put this up and then we lock that to keep them secure in here. And then we come over here, the horse will be here. You'll lead them with that lead rope through here. And this is a chest bar so that their chest is hitting this and they're not all the way up here because this is where the belt runs. And then we also have more secure ties. These are what these are called. So we just want to make sure that these are, the horse is safe as possible, you're safe as possible. I always say, so the black seals on this, we're working with water, so we want to make sure that nothing's leaking or anything. And it creates a very good seal, but it also creates very hard work for us because closing these doors is very hard. But it latches on these 3 things. Yes, they don't really have a name. And then you close this and lock the horse in. So the horse we want them as center in this as possible. And then we control everything from this box here. So in this box, we can control, with this knob, I can control how fast or slow that they're going. I can also, if I go into here, I can control how high the water goes. So I can put the water in, put the water out. Unfortunately, right now we don't have any horses going in the treadmill. They're mainly all swimming at this point, but you can see like we've got time, so we got to do a little bit of math here if they're only here for about 10 minutes or so. We can work them up to 25.
Miss Skinner's class wants to know how often or do the horses ever get tired?
Yes, sometimes they can, which is why we want to watch, like I said before, those respiration rates. It's not super possible or super overwhelming to overwork a horse, but it is always possible. And so what we want to do is make sure that we are watching them, watching their behavior, making sure that they are very comfortable in what they're doing. And so the last real big modality that we have is our vibe plate. And this is really cool. This helps promote and accelerate bone healing. It increases circulation. And if I were to step on here, I'm pretty sure you can hear and it's going from my toes all the way to my head. I can feel it right now in my head. And so we do have a couple of our horses that do this modality. Like I said, it's called the vibration plate. A lot of the times we do that after like a treadmill session or a swim session, just to kind of relax them as well. It stimulates their muscles, like I said, and it also increases circulation and accelerates healing. The last big modality that we have here at SUNY Morrisville Equine Rehab Center are our solariums. So if you have, if you've ever raised or know anybody that's raised baby chicks, these are heat lamps. So it's almost like the same thing. There's just a few more than just one. And we also have fans in here which circulate the hot air. So if you wanted to even think about it, it's almost like if you were to put a heating pad on your back. We just want to either warm them up on a cold day, warm them after swimming, or just put some heat on them to help relax them and relax those muscles after working so hard. I'll turn them off.
We have an interesting question from Mrs. Chamberlain's class. They
Yeah,
want to know, have you ever rehabilitated other livestock, a cow, or just horses?
I don't think we've ever done anything other livestock, but we do offer swimming to canines, which are dogs. So we have had in the past dogs come up and swim as part of rehabilitation, whether they have a bad back, whether they have legs that need, a little more exercise after an ACL tear, or anything like that. So I don't think we've ever done any livestock, but we have done other animals. And this is our barn that we're in right now. So right now we have 9 functional stalls, or 10 stalls used for hay storage. And so all of our stalls are locked twice. We want to make sure horses can be very, I don't know what the word is. They can almost get out of anything sometimes if you leave them alone too long. So we do take precautions, like I said, in everything that we do to make sure that they're nice and secure. I can go in and see if I can, maybe not this one. Oh, there we go. This guy's name's Hippo. We just got him in yesterday from our hunt seat barn. He just needs a little conditioning, so we're gonna swim him later on today. He has never swam before, so we're gonna see how he likes it. But right now he's just hanging out. He ate all of his breakfast, so he's just waiting for us to work with him, aren't you, buddy? Yeah, he's a good boy.
We have a great question. Speaking
Yeah.
of having breakfast, what do you feed the horses?
We feed them hay. We also feed them grain. Hang on, buddy. Stay right there. And we can go over that grain too, if the door wants to close for me. So we also have automatic waters. If you see in the back there, that silver thing, that's our automatic water. So they do drink from that. And then, like I said, so we feed them hay and grain. The grain depends on the horse's work, how big they are, and kind of what nutrients they need. So this is our feed area, and in these bins we have all of our feed. So right here, this is our pelleted feed. All of our horses except for one is on this, and it's dry, but it has a lot of nutrients in it. So these are we prep all of our horses feed, for AM, PM. We have supplements here for them in case they need anything. And there's also another sort of feed here, an alfalfa. So this is another feed that can be used to, this is more of like a sweet feed. And then we always, barn duty, if you were a student here, barn duty is twice a day. After lab is when we feed night. And then in the morning, we feed them between 6 a.m. and 8, kind of depending. And then we use sawdust to bed their stalls, and we clean them, like I said, twice a day.
And we have a question. They wanted to know, where do you buy your grain from? They have a dairy farm, so the kids are interested in what companies
Oh,
you work with.
okay. We can work, so we've done Purina. We've bought them from Purina. We actually just got done with a food trial not too long ago. And then we also we can, TSC, Tractor Supply Company, sorry for the abbreviation. Anywhere. We have, I think, yeah, I think TSC is our biggest one. Purina, we get them shipped by pallets because we have so many horses. And as you can see outside to our right, we do have our rehab paddocks out here. That's called when we do turnout. So we do that as well for horses that need some fresh air and just kind of get out when they're not super injured. So I call that like phase two, phase three of rehab. So right now, everybody that we have in the barn is in phase one, which is so that they're just doing what they're here for. We have one horse that's starting to do turnout, but because he's so young, we want to make sure that he doesn't re-injure himself because that would be bad. So we do a very controlled turnout here on our soft ground round pen. So we call it a round pen because it's round. But we close this door and we kind of let them do their thing. But as you can see, it's a very controlled environment. And if I have to, I can also cut this in half, but normally they're pretty good about it, and they're high enough so that they hopefully don't jump over.
Mrs. Wojak and Mrs. Addie's kindergarten classes are wondering how old are the horses and how tall are they?
So, obviously, very ranges. So right now, our range for horses, we have a young year-old colt. We also have a 2-year-old that we're rehabbing or conditioning, sorry. And then the other horses are between the ages of 9 and 21. I think our oldest one that was standing in the spa, Jerry, he's in his 20s. Horses can live up to about 32, 35 years of age. And how tall are they? So our draft guys right here, our Belgians that we're about to walk through, range anywhere from, I would say, 15 to 18 hands. So they're very tall. And
And what's
then,
a, Miss Leanne, what's a hand? What does that mean?
so if you were to take your fingers like this, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and you were to measure up. So actually, he might let me. We'll see. Hi, buddy. You're gonna let me do this for me? No, probably not. So if I were to take my 4 fingers and travel up them, so if I were to come down here, like 1, 2, 3, and go up all the way to their withers, that's how we measure their length. Hi, buddy. No. So he's about 17, I would say, roughly guessing,
All right, Miss Leanne,
which is about, yes.
we have a question about your fit today. How old are your boots and what kind of footwear do you need when helping with the horses?
Ooh, footwear. These are about a year old. Because I had to get new ones because my other ones were trash because they were about 5 years old. It is recommended, and yes, we do kick here. We do recommend wearing work boots. Any sort of work boot, cowboy boot, doesn't have to be steel toe, but some of it can be recommended depending because we don't want your toes to get squished. Or muck boots. Muck boots are also a very good tool for mucking out stalls. And so it kind of just depends on what you're comfortable with, but the more comfortable, the better also. So I've got mine from Ariat. That's a very popular brand company. So kind of just depending on whatever comfortability you feel, but no Crocs, no flip-flops, you can wear sneakers, but it's not super recommended. Definitely you want some work boots when working with any sort of horse.
You mentioned mucking stalls. What does that mean?
So mucking stalls means just cleaning stalls. So mucking and cleaning are the same thing. So we'll take a wheelbarrow. These guys are feeding right now. But what we do is we take one of those wheelbarrows and we take a pitchfork, and we scoop out all of their waste. So their stool and their urine spots, and just make sure that they're nice and clean.
We have a classroom that wants to know, are some of these horses racing horses?
Some of them, yes, we do. Well, we can rehabilitate and condition racehorses. Right now, we don't have any in the barn, but we have had in the past um race, have had racehorses. So they all do different types of work. It kind of just depends on, their owner and what area they live in. So like I said, we do have Jerry who's in the spa. He's an ex-trainer. This means it's part of a Western program, and he uses the Western saddle to work with and work on.
We had a question. On average,
Hi, buddy.
how long do the client horses stay at the facility?
So I recommend minimum within a week. So a week you want to make sure that they get used to everything that they are going to be. What that prescribes as a protocol, we want to follow to a T, but our we really try to stick to it as much as possible. But in order to get them used to everything, it takes about a week, depending, like I said, if their vet prescribes them a week, and then minimum injury wise, post surgery about for partial recovery. It kind of just depends on how well they're responding to all the treatments as well. We forced to
Oh,
stay
I'm
up to
sorry.
3 to 4 months.
I'm sorry
Oh,
to
that's okay.
interrupt. I'm sorry to interrupt. We are having some difficulty hearing you. Sometimes when we enter barns, it gets a little bit tough with the signal. So our video is paused at the moment and you're a little garbly. Maybe if we walk back outside, we might get a better signal.
Yeah, that's all right. Let me know when you can hear me.
I can hear you a lot
Hello.
better. Hear you a lot better. We can't, our video,
Okay.
but that's okay. So we just have about 2 minutes left, and I have a couple more rapid fire questions. Miss Skinner's class wants to
Yeah.
do the horses. How often are they ridden?
So up at the rehab center, we don't typically ride because we are fitting them to work. So that we want them to work on themselves and on their core muscles and on their tendons and ligaments and really repair them and return them to their formal state. So up here we don't really ride them. But if you were to go down to the Western or the Hunt Seat Barn, they are ridden about 4 to 5 days a week. We do rotate through horses. So it kind of just depends on what labs you're in and what classes you're in, and stuff like that.
How expensive is all this equipment that we saw?
Very, very expensive. Um, it in the grands. I don't know how much like a treadmill really is, but it can cost upwards into the about 10 grand or so. And then to maintenance everything is a little expensive. And hay can be expensive. Grain and feed can be expensive when you add it all up within at the end of the year. But we are happy to use our modalities and everything to get these horses back to where they need to be.
And Mrs. G's class wants to know, what is the biggest horse you have?
The biggest horse, I think it was Hero or Devious. They are really, I want to say, I don't know how much they weigh, but I want to say they're about 17 hands both. So they're pretty big and way bigger than me. I'm 5'8", and I probably only come to their shoulders. So they're pretty big horses that we have here.
Well, Miss Leanne, we cannot thank you enough for hosting us at your facility today. Your job is amazing, and I hope you've inspired some of our students to think about a career in equine rehabilitation. Thank you
I
for
hope so too. Yeah, let me know if you guys need anything, and I really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you.
have a great day. Thanks,
You too.
everyone.